following is a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers, the program where you hear from the leaders important to you.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Vince Robinson. Here in studio for this edition of Comcast Newsmakers is Sal Soto. He is President and CEO of DeSoto Translation and Marketing. And you have a major event coming up, the 7th Annual Latinos Count. Tell us a little bit about how this event got started and what you hope people learn.
Well, I believe it was in 1999. The census was about to come out, and some folks in the area had asked, well, what impact will the Latino community have here in Fort Wayne? So a couple of us got together and said, well, let's have a conference on the topic. And so the word Latinos Count, or the phrase, kind of had double word meaning for us. Not only did we count according to the census, but there was also a lot of positive impact that the conference could bring in educating Fort Wayne and the area about the positive impacts that Latinos could have here in Fort Wayne.
Now, this year's Latinos Count takes place January 29th at Taylor University. This is an all-day event. Describe some of the activities that happen that kind of help people understand the impact of the Hispanic community.
Well, we spent pretty much the last 8 years looking at the trends, demographic changes here in Indiana, and we usually use this opportunity to talk about what the upcoming years are going to look like for Indiana as a whole, but also the impact that Latinos will have in that transformation for the city and for the state. We also bring in keynote speakers from throughout the country to kind of solidify our viewpoints on the changing market and the changing community. So it's been really nice to have really big name speakers, the Census Bureau director. You always talk about the Census Bureau, the data. So we brought the director. We talk about past leaders. We bring them in to talk about changing communities. Some of these folks were like mayors of Houston, Texas, or worked for President Clinton as a Hispanic liaison. So they come with a lot of knowledge and a lot of data for us.
And the audience, who are the folks, who are the organizations, the individuals who need to hear this message?
But anybody here in the city that's working either in a capacity directly with Hispanics, or those folks who will in the future be trying to reach them through marketing, advertising of some sorts. They're great consumers in the billions now as a buying power. So whether you want to sell something or buy something, the Hispanic community is a humongous market to be looking at.
Let's talk a little bit about DeSoto Translation and Marketing, and describe for our viewers what your core business is.
Our core business is providing 24-hour on-site interpreting services in about 40 different languages here in Northeast Indiana. We also provide about 100 different languages in written translation services. So that's been our core. We just won an award, Innovation Award, for that particular service in our industry. And it's changing, it's growing. We used to do predominantly a lot of social service work. Now we're doing a lot of corporate business-to-business type projects, work with all the hospitals. We do all the courts. So, but in particular, the Burmese community, as it's grown here in Fort Wayne, has become a challenge for us. So that's an 08, something to look at.
Now, we've got about a minute left. We talked about Latinos Count. There's also the Latino Food and Music Festival that's going to be coming up. Tell us a little bit about this event.
Well, this event, actually, it's been going on here in Indiana, in particular here in Fort Wayne, for probably 32, going on like 33 years now. It was a real informal kind of celebration, and now it's become a formal festival that we put on annually at Headwaters Park.
And about when is this going to happen?
4th of July weekend is when it's scheduled for here in 2008.
Okay. One last question for you. As you've seen the community grow in terms of its understanding of the Hispanic community, how has that changed your business? We've got about 30 seconds left.
Just changed our business in the sense where we don't have to educate as much on the importance of it or the nuances involved with Latinos. So it's made it a lot easier for us to provide the service without having to educate why we're doing the service.
Absolutely. Sal, thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Vince Robinson. We'll see you next time.
The preceding was a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers. Now back to CNN Headline News.